Hey guys, welcome back to the Republic of Arsenal. It's been a while since I've done some pre-recorded content. I've been focusing an awful lot on the lives, the live chats and debates and that. So I decided it's about time to start doing a couple of these pre-recorded videos again, just giving my thoughts. Before I get started, if you do hear any background sounds, I do apologize. It sounds like there is a hurricane brewing outside of my window here. The weather is absolutely crazy at the moment, and anything could blow through the window at any stage. So just in case that happens, you know what's up. And this being Ireland, don't be surprised. There could be, a tree, a cow, a leprechaun, a pint of Guinness, something will probably end up coming in through the window at some point. So hopefully pint of Guinness, hopefully. So basically today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about Arsenal's French striker, Alex Lacazette. So much speculation surrounding Lacazette. His contract is up pretty soon, 2022, I believe, June 2022. It's about that time you need to start making decisions. Okay, look, he's got all next season and then that's him done. So yeah, we've got to start planning ahead. We could end up losing him January next season on a pre-contract agreement and get absolutely nothing for him. So it's time. Do Arsenal commit, give him a new contract, or do we decide in the summer it's probably best to sell and try to recoup some kind of money for him so that we can reinvest in a replacement or in other areas of the squad, depending on what Arteta's plans are. You definitely don't want to be leaving it to January. We've done this far too many times in the past and we've got caught out for it. We've lost players for absolutely nothing. It's been well documented. I don't even need to go into the list of players. We all know who they are. Some of the guys that have left this club for nothing. It's absolute madness when you do look at the list of names of players that we have got zero for because of this, allowing players to run down the contract. So it's decision time regarding Lacazette. So first of all, I'm going to give my feeling on Lacazette as a player, and then what we should do in my opinion. And I would like comments down below in the comment section. Let me know your feeling. Let me know if you rate Lacazette. Let me know if you would hang on to him, give him a new contract. Let me know if you feel that he is an invaluable member of the squad. Also, let me know if you think it's time to let him go. It's time to explore different options, different avenues. Let me know. Yeah, so Lacazette's always been a player. He's divided a lot of opinion. He's divided my opinion more so as well. I've always liked Lacazette. I've always thought he's a decent player. Completely honest, I've never thought he was ever anything more than a decent player. I briefly knew of him during his time at Lyon, and look, I think we all bought into the hype when we were being linked with him. We were looking for a good striker. Giroud wasn't exactly firing on a regular enough basis for us. We all know Giroud was what he was. He had his moments, and I think we all have an appreciation for Giroud now that he's gone elsewhere. And now we look at him in a different light that we didn't quite look at him in when he was wearing an Arsenal shirt. And look, that's a different discussion altogether. So when Lacazette was linked, yeah, I think we all jumped on the bandwagon and we all said, this is going to be great. Like, look at this guy's goal scoring record. He was playing in Ligue 1 with Lyon, 203 appearances in Ligue 1, 100 goals. So automatically you say, yeah, happy days. We found a goal scorer. A lot of his goals were penalties as well, but still, a goal is a goal. Whether it's from the penalty spot or not, you still have to convert. Bruno Fernandes gets a lot of stick, but yeah, rightfully so, because Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, look, Lacazette arrived in 2017. It was about £47 million thereabouts in the Premier League for Arsenal. He's never been overly prolific. In his best seasons at Lyon, he was hitting 27, 28 goals. For Arsenal, his first season he managed 14. His second season he managed 13. His third season he managed 10. And this being his 4th season, he's currently on 11. Now, this is just Premier League goals. So he's currently on 11 Premier League goals. So look, this could end up being, if he doesn't score again, this will be his 2nd worst goal scoring season for us in the Premier League. At the same time, he's only 4 goals off being his most prolific season. And I think this is where you have the issue, because I don't think anybody would say this has been the best season we've had of Lacazette. We've had great moments of Lacazette this season, but we've had that every season from Lacazette. I think the first half of the season, up as far as Christmas time, many people were saying there's no way Lacazette should be anywhere near the team and he's not good enough and whatever. Now it's a different story. People are saying, yeah, he should be in that team all day long. And I think it's largely down to the fact that, look, 1, we don't have anybody else. 2, Aubameyang is having, not a good season. So that's our only real other goal scoring option. So, we tend to be, looking at Lacazette as a lot more important this season. So this is where now, my decision based on what we do with Lacazette, as I said, he's never been overly prolific, but at the same time, I don't think he was ever that kind of a striker. Again, I think we looked at the Ligue 1 record he had. No disrespect to Ligue 1 and the French league, but I don't believe it is of the standard of the Premier League. There are some very good individual players. I mean, you look at PSG's side, and of course, those guys are far too good to be playing in that league. There are a lot of good quality players that come from that league. But the league as a whole, I don't get overly sold on the idea of, a goal scorer arriving with a decent record. I kind of reserve judgment and sort of say, we'll see how he gets on in the Premier League. And again, has been plenty that have arrived from Ligue 1. Didier Drogba, for example, and has gone on to do absolutely brilliant things in the Premier League. So in terms of Lacazette and what he does offer, look, I think he's been unfortunate. I think he's always been deployed to play a role that's never really suited him. It feels to me as though he's always kind of been used as sort of like a target man, and he's not that kind of a guy. I mean, he doesn't have that build, and it's just not his style of play. It really isn't. Now, he is good at doing what he does in a sense that it's not his game. So he does a decent job. He's definitely not awful at what he's been asked to do. I mean, he does it to the best of his ability. So I cannot fault him. I cannot fault his effort, and I cannot fault him for trying. I definitely think, though, if we're looking for that type of a player, hold up play, take the ball on the turn, link up with your midfielders and your wingers, I definitely think there's better out there. And again, I'm going to annoy people here, but look, we had Olivier Giroud. If you want to play that style of football, we allowed him to go. Again, it's a different debate altogether. But hey, look, if you want, comment section down below, let me know your thoughts on the whole Olivier Giroud situation. Should we have hung on to him that time, or were we right to let him go? Let me know your thoughts down below. Also, what I like about Lacazette, as I said, look, he's 29. He will be 30 going into the new season. So look, he's getting on. But as a player, I do believe he's matured. He's frustrated me many times over the couple of seasons he's been here with the whole, he's been a bit stroppy. Things haven't gone his way. We've seen him falling around the pitch, throwing the hands in the air, instead of just getting on with it. Now, look, there is still bits of that in his game, of course, but I'm seeing it slightly different this season. I'm seeing more of a determination about him. Just in general, more of a mature approach, more of a mature Lacazette. And this is definitely helping with the youngsters we've integrated into the team. Now, I don't know whether his good understanding and link up with the young players has come from the fact that he's played a lot of Europa League games with these guys, so he's had time to gel and form a bit of an understanding and a bond. Maybe he's just a guy on the training ground that's willing to work with the youngsters. I do remember an interview with Emile Smith-Rowe, and he was asked, who is helping you out the most on the training ground, and he did mention Alex Lacazette. So I'm seeing leadership qualities this season from Lacazette. More recently as well, following the 3-3 draw with West Ham, it was Lacazette who came out after the game and spoke to the media and basically, took ownership and said that, we didn't respect the manager's game plan. We didn't play, the way we were instructed. But this is how I took it. I know a few people took it maybe a different way, but how I took it was he was saying that they didn't disregard the manager's plan. It's just they didn't execute it the way they had been instructed to do it. And he was accepting, they should have done a better job. That was just my feelings on it. So yeah, again, I'm seeing leadership qualities this season out of Lacazette. Again, look, maybe I'm picking up a little bit more on it because of the fact that our actual leader and captain, Aubameyang, has been displaying, anything but leadership qualities and traits. But again, I'm not going to make this about anyone but Lacazette. So again, this can be a different discussion. So I'll leave it at that. Summarise, as I said, he is a player I like. He's a player, I never thought was ever going to be world class in an Arsenal shirt. I always expected, he was going to come in and do a job. And I think there was a reason as to why the club recruited Aubameyang when we had spent so much money already 6 months prior on Alex Lacazette. I think the club knew this isn't going to be the guy that's going to be bagging us, 25 goals a season. He's not going to be the guy we can rely on, to sustain a whole Premier League season and, go for Golden Boot or whatever. He needs a bit of help up there. He's not that style of player. And yeah, I think the club have definitely been correct with that. So what would I do when it comes to Lacazette? As I said, the contract is coming up soon. It is time to start making a decision. What is his value at the moment, I think, is the first question I'm going to be asking. Realistically, how much are you looking to get for a striker who is just about to hit 30? As I said, has never been overly prolific for Arsenal. 122 Premier League appearances, 48 goals, 23 assists. By no means awful. By no means prolific. No. I mean, how much money are you going to spend on that guy? Again, depending on the club, depending on what role they want him to play, that could be a determining factor. If you're a club coming in that's looking for a guy to get you goals, is Lacazette going to be the option for you? Maybe depending on the league. Could he go back to League One? Possibly. And, he might have a couple of good seasons before he finishes out his career. Possibly. We know Atletico Madrid have been linked in the past. They recently signed Moussa Dembele, so I thought that was the end of that. And we'd recently seen that Moussa Dembele had a bit of a training ground scare, so we don't know what's going to happen from there. Hopefully the guy is completely fine and he gets back to full fitness and everything is all good. Alternatively, we don't know, is this going to put him on the sidelines long term, and the interest in Lacazette may come back around again from Atletico Madrid. And I'm sure, there will be other clubs out there. So in terms of a fee, personally, if I was to get 20 to 30 million, I'd be very, very tempted. I really would. I'd be very tempted because I think you could make good use of that money. You could reinvest. I think we need to look at something different. We've been there. We've done it with Lacazette. We've tried it, 4 seasons. I think we've seen what we need to see out of Lacazette. And again, I'm not saying he's a bad player by any means. I'm not saying I don't rate him. Again, just feel it's time. It's time for us to, start planning. We need to start planning beyond Lacazette and Aubameyang. You give him another contract. What is it going to be? What's he going to look for? If he says, okay, I'm going to commit to the club, but I want, I want what Aubameyang has. I want a big pay rise, and I want 3 seasons. Can we really commit to that? Can you really commit to having a guy on whatever he wants? He might want 200 grand a week. We don't know. I don't know what he's on now, but I'm sure he's not going to sign unless it's a nice big pay rise, because he's going to have options elsewhere, especially if he decides to run out his contract and leave on a free. He's going to have plenty of cash thrown at him left, right, and centre. So, yeah, this is a decision Arsenal need to make. It's going to make sense financially for Arsenal. How much do you give him? If you decide to keep him, how much are you willing to give as a pay rise? how many years are you willing to commit to? We've overcommitted with Willian. We've got caught out with that one. It looks like we've got caught out with Aubameyang as well. We cannot afford to do that again. We got caught out with Ozil. We gave Ozil too much for too long. The club has to have a complete change of strategy here. We've got to be smart. And if it means letting a couple of fan favourites go, that might just be the road we have to go down to make the right moves. What makes sense financially, what makes sense in a sporting sense going forward. So yeah, look, to summarise, what I would do personally, given the option, if a bid came in, yeah, I would take it. As I said, 20 million plus, I think I'd be happy enough. I do think I'd be happy enough. And look, again, you can let me know in the comment section. Maybe I'm selling them a little bit short. But then when I look at some possible targets and that, I'm not saying you're going to find a great player for 20 million, but it's 20 million in the transfer kitty that you didn't have, and you've freed up some more wages. So what do you do with that 20 million? You can add to it and maybe go out and buy a striker then that you see as more of a fit for the future for what style you want to play. So basically, I've kind of given me verdict on Lacazette. Yeah, I would allow him to move on. I don't think it would be wise for the club to overcommit. We've got burned too many times, and I don't think we can afford to do it again. So yeah, I think he's had his time in my view, and it's time for us to move elsewhere. So now I'm going to talk, potential replacements, just some of the names that are, one, already at the club, and two, being linked with the club that I've seen. Just a couple of names. So obviously we might as well start off close to home. At our club currently, we have two young strikers that we all know. One, Eddie Nketiah. The second, Folarin Balogun. Now, Eddie Nketiah, again, it's a player who, is, I was going to say completely divided opinion, but lately the consensus seems to be he's not good enough. It's time to let him move on. I think it's a little bit harsh, but I haven't seen enough to convince me that he is ready to play for Arsenal. I do think, given a season or two of first-team football elsewhere, would benefit him 100%. I'm at the point now. I'm generally willing to wait and allow players time to develop. I'm at the stage now. I'm not ready to wait any longer because we need goals. We really, really need goals, and we need them now. We cannot afford to slip down the table for another season or two, waiting on a guy to develop. I think we've got to make the right moves now. If we can get some money in for Eddie Nketiah, again, add that to the money you get for Lacazette. Should you get maybe 20 million for Lacazette? Could you get 10, 15 million for Eddie Nketiah? I mean, look, he's had some first-team experience. He's had some Europa League experience. He's the top goal scorer at England's under-21 level. He's, not a bad player by any means. He can still improve massively. He's still only 21. So, look, that's a good sell for a smaller club. A smaller club who are willing to give him the time and the minutes to develop. You could get some cash for Eddie. You could get some cash for Lacazette. Suddenly you've got a little bit more now to reinvest. So now that brings me on to Balogun. Balogun, again, this is another one. This one is a saga that just seems to be dragging out, and there seems to be no resolve. Look, we all know about the contract situation. It might not even be an option here for Balogun because he may already have one foot out the door that we just don't know about yet. He hasn't committed to the club. Seen all sorts of reports. The agent is looking for this. Balogun is looking for 40 grand a week. Yeah, what do you do? I mean, he's had a handful of substitute appearances in the Europa League. He scored a handful of goals. He looks decent in the under-23s. He's scoring, regularly for them. He's making all the right noises with his football ability. My biggest issue is he's making all the wrong noises with his perceived attitude. For a guy to be holding out and trying to hold the club ransom, whether it be agent instruction or not. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. Like, the guy has yet to establish himself, break into the first team. And when you look at a guy like Eddie Nketiah, we've not heard a peep out of Eddie Nketiah, and he's been in and out of the first team, and he hasn't got a look in lately, and we're not hearing a peep out of him. And then you're hearing Balogun's side of things. He's making all the wrong noises, and he's nowhere near as established as Eddie Nketiah is. So, yeah, there's alarm bells ringing for me when it comes to Balogun. And again, look, I don't know how good or bad Balogun is, because we all hyped Eddie Nketiah until he became a regular, and now everybody wants rid. We can commit to Balogun. We can give him a 4-year deal, 5-year deal, whatever he's looking for, 40 grand, 60 grand, whatever the fee is he's looking for. He may not develop. He may not develop the way many of us believe he is going to develop. And maybe he will. Maybe he'll be another Serge Gnabry, one that got away, and we'll be looking back in a couple of seasons saying, why didn't we just give him what he wanted? But yeah, I think we've got to be so careful, Balogun. I think it sends a really bad message if the club fold and give him too much. It sends a bad message to all the guys coming up through the youth ranks, because now they'll be looking at him and go, well, look, Balogun held out and he got what he wants. If I have any hint of the club really rating me and wanting me to stay, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to hold out because the money is there. And if they want to commit, they will commit. And if not, I'll go elsewhere. So, yeah, as I said, look, it's the same thing with Lacazette. We cannot be stupid here. We need to be clever. We need to run the business side of the club so much better. And that applies to Balogun as well. So Balogun could be an option. We don't know yet. Until we know what the deal is with his contract, where he's going to be from next season onwards, yeah, could be an option. At the moment, it's too up in the air to say he could be the long-term Lacazette replacement. But if he's wise and he's willing to meet the club in the middle, there's a massive opportunity there. That could be the difference in allowing Lacazette to move on, because you've got this guy who's ready to step in. And as I said, if he's smart, if he even commit to maybe 3-4 seasons, I think he's still only 19. You know, he's going to be early 20s, and he could be a regular starter for Arsenal once his 3 or 4 seasons have been completed. And then if it's not working out, sure, he's going to get a move elsewhere, isn't he? So yeah, if he's wise, he will commit. So now, looking away from the club, there's a couple of names that have been seen. The first one I want to start with is this guy Mislav Orsic, who plays for Dinamo Zagreb. And I'm not going to waste too much time on this one. This one, I believe, is just complete fan hype and media hype. I believe this just kind of started as a bit of a joke. For people who don't know who he is, he's the guy who scored the hat-trick against Tottenham for Zagreb's comeback to dump Spurs out of the Europa League. Let's all just take a second to laugh at Spurs. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this guy, Croatian striker, or kind of more attacking mid, left winger. I had a look at him. You know, he's 28 years of age, first of all. He's 28. Lacazette is 29. Again, he's played 300 odd games in his career. I think he's got about 180 goals. He's played in some pretty poor leagues, let's be fair. He's played in the Korean League. He's played, you know, he no disrespect, he's in the Croatian League right now. He's played in Serie B. For me, that one is definitely not happening. Odsonne Edouard. Now, Edouard, who plays for Celtic, 23-year-old French striker. Decent record playing for Celtic. Again, no disrespect to the SPL. Strikers, you know, a half-decent striker should do quite well there. And look, again, as I said, no disrespect, there's some serious players that play in the SPL at Celtic. Look, Kieran Tierney, for example. So by no means does that, you know, discredit him at all to say, look, he's not going to be good enough. I've watched him a couple of times, and yeah, I can see ability. I can. Again, is he good enough to elevate Arsenal to the next level? At this moment in time, my feeling is no. I don't believe he is going to come in and be this complete difference maker. Again, it depends. It depends what the fans want. Like, a lot of fans will tell you, yeah, they're happy for a guy to come in as 23, showing good signs, and they're willing to wait, 3 seasons till he hits 26 and starts coming into his prime, 26, 27. They'll tell you, yeah, sign him. Apparently 15 million is going to sign him, which is a very, very modest fee for anyone nowadays. Realistically, though, how many people are willing to wait to give the guy that time to develop? Come on. Like, let's be real. You got to ask that question first and foremost. We do need something for the here and now. We really, really do. I could see sense in signing somebody like Edouard to maybe take the Lacazette position. And what I mean by that is, we know Lacazette isn't a regular starter. If Aubameyang is scoring and on form, we know Lacazette is sitting on the bench. I would like us to bring in, a nailed-on quality striker that is going to be playing week in, week out, and then maybe have Edouard as an option then. Maybe he can be the rotation guy, the guy who comes on to make a difference, and then we'll see how he develops. The next player is Danny Ings. And Danny Ings, now, I've seen he's also been linked to Man City, so look, if that's true, straight away, yeah, good luck. That's not happening with Arsenal. The reason I'm basically bringing Danny Ings up is because it's been a player that I've looked at for quite some time, and I've always sort of said, you know what, this guy causes issues against Arsenal when I watch him play. He's that kind of a striker that I think Arsenal have been missing for a while. He's in your face. He's a good player. He's a good player. So unfortunate, and I don't think he gets the recognition because of his Liverpool days. But as I said, he was very, very good when he was at Burnley. He looked very good. He got that move to Liverpool, and he was so unfortunate with injuries. He could have been a very good player for Liverpool, but serious injuries. He got his career back on track. He left. He's at Southampton now. He's doing really, really good things at Southampton. His contract is up 2022 as well. Could be available for a modest fee. And again, I know I did say guys like Orsic, 28, we shouldn't go down that road. Danny Ings is also 28, but look, I will be willing to, again, if the price is right, I'll be willing to take a guy like Danny Ings on the short term to bring on someone like Odsonne Edouard. If you could spend, let's just say 20 million for Danny Ings, that's your 20 million you get for Lacazette. I think he'd probably do a better job for what we want him to do. I think he's more of a natural goal scorer than Lacazette. He's got that experience. And then again, if you sell Eddie Nketiah, get your 15 million or whatever, that could be your Odsonne Edouard coming in. So, you have your two options there. Let me know what you think, though. Again, any of those names I've mentioned, let me know what you think down below. Just the last player I'm going to talk about, because I don't want to make this video too long. It's a name that I keep seeing popping up. Brentford striker, Ivan Toney. And Toney, 25 years of age. I mean, he's at a good age. I'm a little bit concerned that you're 25 and you've only kind of reached championship level. I know he was prolific before signing for Brentford, but again, as League One, he did have a move to the Premier League going back a couple of seasons ago. He played 2 games in the Premier League for Newcastle. Looked like he had a decent enough goal scoring record for their under 23s. I think he had a couple of injuries at Newcastle, a few loan moves, ended up leaving. Definitely a player there. Plenty of ability. As I said, I'm just a little bit concerned. 25, you're only sort of kind of doing your stint in the championship now, but could be an option. Again, I'm not saying not a good player by any means, and he's scoring for fun in the championship this season. Not to sound snobbish, and I know this can be a trait of Arsenal fans, but I like the idea of if we're gonna commit to signing, a long-term successor to guys like Lacazette and Aubameyang, I sort of want to know that they've proven quality at a higher level. And again, like I said, Ivan Toney could come into the Premier League and do amazing things. I look at Ollie Watkins, for example. He looks very, very good at Aston Villa. And it's another name I was tempted to put on this list, but I would like him at Arsenal, definitely, but I just don't think it's realistic. Like Villa, they're not going to let him go. He's in, what's, first season? Yeah, that's not happening. You talk about Calvert-Lewin as well, another player I would love to see us go for. We're not going to have the money for him. You know, we're just not. Both guys, Watkins and Calvert-Lewin, in the England setup now. Watkins just got his first goal. Both players scored against San Marino. So yeah, look, automatically extra couple of million added on to their price tags already, and you know they're scoring in the Premier League. So yeah, Tony, again, if the price is right, could be an option. Definitely could be an option. Literally, I'm actually going to leave it at that. But if there are any other names, anyone that you would like, you know, throw a few names out there. Comment section down below. That's what it's for. Let me know your thoughts. Whether you agree with some of the things I've said, whether you disagree with some of the things I've said. I'm more than happy to hear the opinions and that. So yeah, don't be afraid to throw comments in there. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As you can see, yeah, there, yeah, there we go. That's the one. Yeah, so do like the video, share it around, and don't forget, subscribe to Republic of Arsenal. So please do subscribe. Yeah, so look, I'm going to leave it there. As I said, do throw comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know, Lacazette, what's your verdict? Is it worth committing to him? Is it worth keeping him a little bit longer? Is he that important to our side? Alternatively, is it time to move on? Is it time we explored other options and we went a different way altogether? And let me know who you would like to see come in. So as always, look, thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button. Come on, you Gunners.